Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Kristy Reno. Like that intro? I can give that same intro on your television news station. I may have just graduated from San Francisco State, but I have the skills to make your news show the best it can be. From pursuing a degree in broadcasting, I have learned writing, shooting, and even editing. Throughout my college career, I was a resident assistant, where I learned great leadership and communication skills. Since working multiple jobs concurrently, I know the value of hard work and time management. Deadlines were an everyday thing, and I didn't just turn things in on time, I turned them in early and they were quality work. I love to smile and have a great personality that will boost your ratings. I'm a credible person that your viewers can trust. I may live in San Francisco now, but I can move wherever and whenever you need me. Hire me to be your next news reporter. I guarantee you won't regret it. This is Kristy Reno, back to you in the studio. Wait a second, that Snapchat that I was about to send could be dangerous. That so-called friend could screenshot it and post it anywhere online. You may be friends now, but what happens if you get in a fight and they post that picture as revenge? Remember, nothing on the web disappears. Thousands of pictures every day get posted on the internet. Most people don't think it will happen to them until it does. Think before you send that Snapchat. Your future could depend on it. Good evening. Welcome to State of Events. I'm Kristy Reno. Here are tonight's top stories. Local woman Marion Hartman was arrested this morning for attempting to sneak onto another flight at San Francisco International Airport. Last month, Hartman attempted to sneak onto 3 different flights going to Hawaii. She was then placed on a court-ordered 18-month probation from the airport. She snuck onto security by slipping under the stanchion and bypassed security guards and TSA agents. Hartman is now in jail with a bail of $7,500. The TSA has taken action by putting barriers up at the checkpoint so people can't sneak under the stanchion. In other news, Joe's Cable Car Restaurant on Mission Street is closing its doors for customers. The burger joint has been open for nearly 50 years. Joe, the owner, has decided not to sell the place. Our last story tonight is, after 1 year break due to the budget cuts, the Blue Angels will be returning to San Francisco. They will be back at their normal show during Fleet Week in October. That was your State of Events news. I'm Kristy Reno. Good night, San Francisco. Good morning. I'm Kristy Reno, and sitting here is one of San Francisco State's finest leaders, Virginia McBride. She is very involved in many leadership positions here on campus and has represented SF State all around the country and even internationally. She just got elected as Associated Students Vice President of University Affairs, and she's here to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure thing, Kristy.
So before we get into your position, what is Associated Students, or ASI?
Associated Students is the student government here at San Francisco State University, and in some ways it's similar to ASB, but every CSU has an ASI, and they all come together at CSSA, which is the California State Student Association. So ASI is really an opportunity for SF State students voice to be represented officially, and then that information is also that representation is also taking place at the statewide level as well.
Wow. Your position is Vice President University Affairs. What will you be doing in that position?
Well, as the position is outlined, the main responsibility is to plug students into sort of shared governance opportunities with university committees. And so there are about 70 of those, and that'll be the biggest task I start taking on in the fall when academic affairs, or I should say academic senate, forwards me that information. We'll be getting outreaching to students, and I'm really excited to, as I take on this position, outreach to students who are not necessarily involved in Associated Students already. Almost every student on our campus is a dues-paying member of ASI, and so I really look forward to the opportunity to get them involved with their organization as we represent their voice.
Wow, that sounds like a great organization that you're a part of. Do these positions actually make much change on campus?
Oh, most definitely. I think how much change they make really depends on the individuals who are involved and how much of a united front they have, but I can say even with my limited experience with our board, it's full of very passionate individuals, some of whom are returning board members, some of whom are fresh to ASI, but we got to work together at a leadership retreat about 2 weekends ago, and the team is really cohesive, all very committed to making student success a priority, reducing barriers to student success, and so I look forward to working with them throughout the upcoming year.
Before you were involved in ASI, you were president of Resident Hall Association. Can you tell me what that was like?
Sure. The Residence Hall Association is like you said, a student organization on campus, and being president of that, being an executive board member was really exciting because that was a way that I felt like I could make change happen, and not necessarily change, but maybe just change the status quo. I think sometimes people think about living in the dorms, and it's so I don't want to say boring, but there's not a lot to do, and so working with the RAs, working with their hall government, and working with RHA to host programs for the residents to sort of enhance the on-campus living experience, and as well as being the voice of the residential population as well, I think was a great experience that I'll translate into my new role as Vice President of University Affairs. Mm-hmm. But it really helped me get connected when I first came to campus with my peers, and really let me sort of put some of the leadership skills I developed as a high schooler into practice and helped me find my place at SF State.
So you've represented San Francisco State in many places all around the country, even in Canada. Can you tell us about some of those times?
Sure. Well, just like I mentioned, the CSSA is sort of the statewide representation of student voice. PACUR, or the Pacific Affiliate of College and University Residence Halls. That's the regional organization for residential housing associations that are on a variety of campuses, and so as a part of that work, we went to our campus has gone all over Oregon, Washington, California, Nevada. I specifically had the opportunity to represent the Residence Hall Association in Canada as part of the annual business conference. It was hosted by the University of British Columbia, and that was actually the first time one of these conferences has been hosted outside of the United States. We also went to the University of Pittsburgh last June for part of the international conference. Kind of funny how the regional one is the one that happened outside of the nation, and the international one is the one that happened in Pittsburgh, but it was a great opportunity.
That's great. It looks like we're out of time. Thank you so much, Virginia, for coming here today, and we look forward to seeing all your accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you.